Shalom, Israel. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawah, BASHAM, YAHAWAHSHI, BASHAM, Rakah, Quadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders who teach and rule well at Great Millstone, and peace and salutations and peace and mercy to the prophets, the hopeful elect, the 144,000, and to the men and women of the 12 lost tribes of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. Shalom. Back with another lesson. I'll title this one, Because You Have Rejected the Word of the Lord. Because you have rejected the word of the Lord. Call halal Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI. Call halal Yimla Allahayana wa Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI. And I titled this one, Because You Have Rejected the Word of the Lord. And 2/3 of the Lord's people, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, 2/3 of the tribes of Israel, they reject the word of the Lord. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to hear the words of the Lord. And Israel, 2/3 of Israel, they'll read every other book except the Bible. They believe everything the enemy Esau, Edom say, but they don't believe the words of the Lord. And you look at this period of time. This is considered a grace period, to get right and to come back and to serve the Lord. Because a few years ago, they just had that C-19 and the world got put on lockdown. I know that the time that I've been on the earth, I've never witnessed that. Never. And you got to walk around with a mask, the pestilence, and it came out of nowhere. But the Lord told you that he's coming like a thief in the night. And you don't know when a thief is going to break into your home. You don't know. But I think through the Spirit, that was, a wake-up call, to try to get Israel's attention. But, at this time, summertime is back. All the sports and entertainment are here, and Israel's just went right back into what they were doing. And I think in that period, that little lockdown, you had some, you had most people trying to, pray to the Lord, help us, please. And, they started to kind of call on the Lord in that time, the lockdown and all that stuff. You still have wickedness going on, but most people you could see it. But, Israel has totally went right back to what they were doing. And this is the worst time of our people in the history of our nation. The behavior of Israel. They have terrible behavior, terrible. They constantly do drugs. They constantly do adultery. The wickedness of our people. This is the worst time as far as Israel as a nation in the history of our people. But they don't want to hear the words of the Lord. They don't want to hear the words of the Lord. And what the Lord is about to do in the earth. Because the doors of mercy, they're almost shut. If you got your spiritual eyes and ears on, you see what's going on around the world. And ultimately here in America, Babylon, this place is collapsing right before your eyes. It's collapsing. See? And, Israel, they 2/3 of Israel don't want to change. So, with this grace period and this word going out forth, You know, they're already, you can see famine of the word is coming, because it's an attack on freedom of speech. And the Lord told you that there's not going to be a famine of bread and water, but of hearing the words of the Lord, man. And you see it right now. They're trying to shut the word down, and ultimately the word is on the internet. This is how it goes out to everywhere across the world. The Lord, he has made no excuse to receive this word. And then you know, also in this time of grace period, you know, you have Israelites that are prospering in the land of their captivity. They're living good, and they got plenty of money, they're wealthy, they have their own businesses, but they don't want to seek the Lord. And you're about to lose all of the Lord is about to remove all of that from you. All your sports stars and entertainers and all of that. This place is gonna go. And you're gonna go right down with this place. Because you've been warned, man. You've been warned. Over and over and over, you've been warned, Israel. Because the Lord is gonna bring unspeakable evil on this earth. The show is almost over, man. The show is almost over. Let me go to the scriptures. Let me go to Psalm 81 and 10. Psalm 81 and 10. Call Allah Yahawah BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI. It says, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. See? Because in times past, our forefathers, you know, Moses, you know, and our ancestors, our forefathers, the Lord showed mighty works coming out of the land of Egypt. We were in captivity in Egypt. And the Lord delivered us, you know, our forefathers out of captivity under the Egyptians, man. And he showed mighty works. He showed how powerful he is. The Lord's going to do the same thing in this second Egypt, but he's going to do it on a whole nother level. You're going to see men in this end time, his elect men are going to have some of Lord willing, I'm part of the hopeful elect. Lord willing, Baba Kusha. But they're going to have spiritual power. Some of his elect men. The Lord's going to show how powerful he's, the creator of everything. YAHAWAH BASHAM YAHAWAHSHI, the King of Kings, the Lord of Lords, the Holy Mashiach, the God of Israel. He's the creator. And he's coming back to deliver his elect out of this second Egypt. 2/3, the Lord's going to put 2/3 of his own people, 2/3 of his own people, the Lord's he's going to put them to death because you're too far gone and you reject the word of the Lord. You reject his word. You don't believe nothing of this Bible, what it says. You reject it. So you won't be delivered out of this. But 2/3 of his people, the Lord he's going to put them to death. And he's coming back to save the elect. And it tells you that they're going to be amazed at the strangeness of the salvation, on how the elect get saved. It's going to be beyond, you know, people's imagination on how he delivers and saves his elect in this end time of evil that's coming on the earth. It says, I am the Lord thy God, which brought thee out of the land of Egypt. Open thy mouth wide and fill it. Yeah, the Lord will give you what your heart's desire according to righteousness if you're serving him, man. In truth and sincerity, the Lord will take care of you. But, you know, Israel don't want to do that. 2/3 of Israel don't believe. They don't want to do that. So what did the Lord say? He said, but my people would not hearken to my voice, and Israel would none of me. But my people would not hearken to my voice. See? And Israel would none of me. Israel don't want to listen. 2/3 of Israel just refuse. They don't want to listen. They ain't gonna listen. I'm gonna do it my way. They just had that Mother's Day. Mother's Day is not in the Bible. That's not a holy day. They just had Mother's Day. Mother's Day is not in the scriptures. That's a man-made day. That's a heathenistic day. But what Israel? They don't believe that. They don't want to listen. But the Lord said, and there's Christmas and Easter and New Year's Eve and all that other stuff, Thanksgiving. They go all in the ways of the heathen. But the Lord said, so I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsel. See? So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsels. Your own perverse, stupid ideas, the Lord's let you go in. And how has that worked for you, Israel? How has it worked? Because last time I checked, Israel, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, the tribes are on the bottom, man. The tribes are on the bottom. We feel the majority of the prison here, the prisons here in America, Babylon. No matter how much money you get, you still gotta kiss ass. You gotta kiss Esau's ass to try to live gigantic or start a business. You still gotta go to him. As soon as you get out of line, they do you any old kind of way. The police, they gun down your children. They put you on TV and make a mockery of you. You're hated amongst the nations. There's no democracy, no justice here for you. And then, when you get treated poorly, you run right to the damn enemy. You march and protest right to the enemy. When they gun your family member or kill your children, you run right to Esau, the enemy. And they just laugh and crack jokes about you. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust. They walked in their own counsel. Martin Luther King, Malcolm X, Black Panther, all your political so-called leaders, nothing has worked. See, nothing has worked. So I gave them up unto their own heart's lust, and they walked in their own counsel. You're still on the bottom, Israel. Nothing has worked. You still get treated like shit. See? Let me go here. I got a couple more and I'll close out. See, the doors of mercy are almost closing now. All the mocking and rejection of the Lord's word, and being proudful and hard-headed. The Lord getting ready to wrap things up. The Lord told you, I've long time held my peace. He said, I've long time held my peace. The Lord, His word will no longer be prolonged. This is why you see things in the earth going the way it's going, and everything is happening right before your eyes. The famine, the supply chain is completely destroyed. The economy is walking a tightrope right now. Crime, lawlessness, it's all growing. And the good majority, 2/3 of Israel, is gonna get blindsided, and they not gonna know what hit them. And what they gonna do? Hosea 4:1. Hosea 4:1. It says, hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. See? For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth. See? In Jerusalem, Israel is a people before a place. because there is no truth. There's absolutely no truth, dealing with 2/3 of Israel. They don't seek the Lord. They don't believe in this. They don't believe in the words of the Lord. He says, no mercy nor knowledge of the Lord in the land. There's absolutely no knowledge. That's why the Lord said, my people have a zeal of the Lord, but not according to knowledge. They know how to pray and pray to him and stuff like that, but the knowledge of these scriptures, and they can go to Sunday church all day long, but they have no knowledge of the Lord. None. And they don't know where they come from. They don't know their power. It says two, by swearing and lying and killing. This is what Israel's doing. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood toucheth blood. This is what Israel is doing in 2023. Killing or swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery. They break out and blood toucheth blood. This is what 2/3 of Israel is doing. The Lord's people, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. You kill, steal, and commit adultery and lie. Killing one another, stealing from one another, committing adultery. Best friend having sex with his best friend's wife. Behind his back, swinging. Just all type of wickedness. It says, I'll hop to 6. It says, Hosea 4:6. It says, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. See, my people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I also will reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me. Seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. And see, in this end time, the Lord is sending, he's, in this Jacob's trouble, because Jacob's trouble is for Jacob, for you tribes, for you Israelites. 2/3 of you are going to get caught up in it. And the Lord said, since thou forgottest thy law, he also will forget thy children. And so, a lot of you Israelites got children, that's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and even up. And a lot of your children are going to be put to death right along with you because you rejected this word. A lot of you is 2/3 of you Israelites. Some of you are going to witness your little children or your kids die of starvation or die of violence right before your eyes because there's a famine coming. Starvation, no food. See, this is one of the judgments that the Lord is going to send on the world and on to 2/3 of his own people. Because you don't listen to this word. You don't hearken. You're not going to do what the Lord says. He says they honor me with their mouth. You just talk about it. You don't do it. Some of you. He says, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy God, I will also forget thy children. It's going to be cold-blooded on how the Lord do 2/3 of his own people because they don't listen. They don't want to do what thus said the Lord. I mean, unspeakable evil is coming that the Lord is going to send on the earth. I mean, all amount of evil. And he's going to let Esau eat them. You got these hate groups, these KKK and militia. You also got Esau and his weaponry, his military, and these troops that are coming in this martial law. And they are coming for Israel. And Esau got weaponry that June and Bubba, from the block, and DK and them, that you think that you finna battle Esau and them, and they military and they weaponry, You think them boys from that block finna set up and try to go against Esau? He was blessed with the sword. His weaponry is, he has weapons that you guys have never even heard of, man. They're gonna mow DK and Bubba and them down from the block in June. Whatever gang you think that you finna raise up in this martial law, because Esau represents the left hand of the Lord. You're battling the left hand of the Lord with a sword. They're gonna mow you. They're gonna mow you 2/3 Israelite. They're gonna mow you down. They're gonna mow you down. You're gonna get some of them, but the weaponry that Esau got, you're just not ready for. This is the left hand of the Lord. He's gonna use them to come down on 2/3 of his own people, man. Let me close out with this. Let me stay in Hosea. Hosea 13:7. Hosea 13:7, and it reads, it says, therefore I will be unto them as a lion, see, as a leopard, by the way will I observe them. A leopard, if you ever watch a leopard, how they hunt, they observe their prey, and this is how the Lord is doing in this end time. Therefore will I be unto them as a lion, as a leopard, by the way will I observe them. So he's watching right now, because he said, I'm going to search Jerusalem with candles. But he said, I'm going to observe as a leopard, by the way will I observe them. He's watching every single movement and everything being said according to your ways. You're going to be judged in this end time, Israel. 8, I'll close out with this. 8, it says, I will meet them as a bear. I will meet them as a bear that is bereaved of her whelps. You ever a bear that's got her children stolen? You better stay out the way, because that bear is gonna he gonna kill you. He gonna kill you. It says, I will meet them as a bear that is bereaved of her whelps, and will rend the call of their heart. The Lord, a bear just tear you. Just cut you open and eat you, your insides. That's how a bear is. And will rend the call of their heart, and there will I devour them like a lion. The wild beast shall tear them. So the Lord, he's just using that as an example that, he just going, in this end time of Jacob's trouble, 2/3 that rejected this word, you're going to be put to death horribly. Shalom.